It's officially over. Kody Brown and David Woolley's painful divorce shocks everyone. Life is so unpredictable. One moment everything seems perfect, and the next, it all falls apart. No one truly knows what tomorrow will bring. Kody Brown's journey is a reflection of that painful truth, a woman who once believed in forever, only to find herself facing heartbreak time and time again. Watching her story unfold has been both inspiring and heartbreaking because behind her warm smile lies a woman who has endured so much pain. Kody Brown, known and loved by millions of Sister Wives fans, has lived her life in front of the cameras for years. We've seen her laugh, cry, sacrifice, and love deeply. She was once the third wife of Kody Brown in a plural marriage that lasted nearly 3 decades. On the surface, their relationship seemed strong at times. They had children, shared dreams, and appeared to be united. But beneath that image, Kody carried years of loneliness and disappointment. When she finally decided to walk away from Kody in 2021 after 27 long years, it was both shocking and liberating. No one thought Kody would ever take that step, but she proved everyone wrong. She found her strength and decided she deserved peace, respect, and happiness. Leaving a marriage that defined nearly 3 decades of her life was no easy decision. Kody didn't leave because she stopped caring. She left because she had spent years trying to fix something that could no longer be fixed. She had given her all, and yet, she was left feeling unseen and unloved. It takes courage to walk away from the familiar, even when it hurts. But Kody found that courage within herself and took that step toward a new beginning. After her separation, she tried to rebuild her life, not just as a mother, but as a woman learning how to live again. Slowly, she opened her heart to the idea of love once more. And then came David Woolley, a man who seemed to bring light into her life when she least expected it. Their relationship blossomed quickly, and fans watched in awe as Kody's face lit up again. It was beautiful to see her smile, to see her laugh freely without the heavy shadow of the past following her. She met David in 2022, just a year after her divorce, and though many felt she was moving too fast, Kody followed her heart. Maybe she believed she had already wasted enough time in a love that gave her pain, and she didn't want to lose the chance to be happy. David was everything Kody wasn't. Quiet, calm, loving, and fully committed to one woman. He didn't believe in polygamy or control. He had lived through loss himself, a widower with 8 children and 10 grandchildren. Together, they created a large, blended family filled with laughter, memories, and new beginnings. Kody and David moved in together not long after meeting, and even though it surprised many who knew her as a traditional woman, it seemed like Kody was finally doing what made her heart feel alive. Then, in October 2023, Kody and David got married. It was a grand celebration, unlike her quiet and complicated wedding to Kody decades earlier. This time, she stood surrounded by love, not shared love, not divided affection, but her own love story. She wore an off-the-shoulder gown, her smile wide, her eyes filled with emotion, and she proudly showed off the tattoo that matched David's. It was her moment, her chance to live the life she always dreamed of. The wedding was filmed and later aired on a 2-part Sister Wives special. Fans across the world celebrated with her, believing that this time, Kody had found her true happily ever after. But life is never as simple as we want it to be. Behind the glowing pictures and heartfelt vows, real life was still waiting. Kody's recent comments about unbelievable heartbreak left fans deeply concerned. When she shared her 2024 recap post on Instagram, her words hit hard. From unbelievable heartbreak to unforgettable adventures, this year has been all about growth, joy and hardship, and finding the courage to choose happiness. The word heartbreak stood out like a wound, raw and painful. It made many wonder if her marriage to David was facing trouble. For those who love Kody, the thought of her being hurt again was unbearable. She had already endured so much sadness during her years with Kody. The idea that her new chapter could also bring pain was heartbreaking to imagine. But before assuming the worst, there was something else, something deeper, that explained the sorrow in her words. In March 2024, tragedy struck the Brown family when 25-year-old Garrison Brown, Kody and Janelle's son, passed away. Garrison wasn't Christine's biological child, but she had loved him as her own. During the years when Kody and Janelle were busy building their lives, it was Christine who stayed home, caring for all the children, hers, Janelle's, and Mary's. She nurtured them, fed them, taught them, and made sure they felt loved. Garrison grew up under her care and guidance, and she formed a special bond with him. His death shattered her heart. For Christine, 2024 became a year of conflicting emotions. On one hand, she had found love, stability, and a new beginning with David. On the other, she was grieving deeply, not just for Garrison's loss, but for the pain her dear friend Janelle was enduring. Losing a child is an unimaginable sorrow, and Christine, being the compassionate person she is, carried that pain with her. The heartbreak she mentioned in her post was very likely about that loss. Her words were filled with the ache of a mother who watched another mother break down and felt powerless to ease her pain. Even with the joy of a new marriage and a new life, grief has a way of creeping in. It doesn't matter how happy you appear, when someone you love dies, a part of your heart dies with them. Christine's radiant smile may have dimmed, not because her love story with David was fading, but because grief was sitting quietly in the corners of her soul. She was trying to balance joy with sorrow, love with loss. It's a cruel reality many face, learning to find happiness again while mourning someone who will never return. Christine has always been strong, but she is also human. She has lived through emotional abandonment, public scrutiny, and now loss. Even when she speaks of growth and courage, it's easy to see the pain behind her words. Happiness, for her, has never come without struggle. Maybe that's what makes her story so deeply moving. She keeps choosing love, even when it hurts. Sometimes, when you've been through so much pain, even joy feels fragile. It's as if you're afraid to hold it too tightly, in case it slips away. Christine's life has been a series of chapters filled with both heartbreak and healing. She found the strength to walk away from a man who couldn't love her fully, she dared to believe in love again, and she continues to face life's unexpected turns with grace. Maybe her post wasn't a sign of trouble in paradise. Maybe it was a quiet reflection from a woman who has seen too much loss and still chooses to see beauty in the brokenness. Maybe unbelievable heartbreak doesn't always mean the end of love, sometimes, it's just the weight of living, the ache of remembering, and the courage of moving forward anyway. Christine Brown's story is a reminder that no matter how perfect life may look from the outside, everyone carries invisible wounds. She has learned that healing doesn't happen all at once. It's a journey, one filled with tears, laughter, and the quiet strength to keep choosing joy even when it hurts. And perhaps that's what makes her so relatable, so human, and so deeply loved by those who have watched her rise again and again, no matter how many times life tried to break her.